I can't do this, I said quietly. My voice shook in the dark warehouse. Night pressed hard around us. Cold air touched my face and hands. My heart hit my ribs like fists. I faced Mara and tried to breathe. She stood a few steps from me. Her hand held a gun at my chest. Elias, she said, please listen to me. Her voice broke when she said my name. I raised my empty hands a little. I came here to help, I said. I don't want to fight you, Mara. Behind her, Jonas moved near the door. He watched the exit more than me. Mara, I said, put the gun down. This isn't you. This isn't us. She gave a short, bitter little laugh. This is us now, she said quietly. Her hand shook around the gun. Shoot me, she whispered, eyes on mine. The words hit harder than any bullet. I don't want to hurt you, I said. The words came out late and weak. Please, she said, I need you to. I stared at her, sure I misheard. You want me to shoot you? I asked. My heels slipped on broken glass. Jonas cursed under his breath near the wall. Just do it, he said from behind her. It's the only way now, Eli. Only Jonas still called me that. The name carried years of home and trust. Now he pushed me toward this choice. Tell me why, I said. Tell the truth. No one spoke for a long moment. I trusted you both, I finally said. You were my family, my home. You used me like I was nothing. My voice shook, but I did not stop. Fear and guilt sat heavy on my chest. Old hope felt small, like a tired light. My home, my peace, all seemed far away. Mara took one slow step toward me. The gun followed my chest perfectly. I'm sorry, she said. For everything. I need more than sorry, I answered. I need the truth, all of it. She shook her head like a scared child. I can't tell you, she whispered. If I speak, they kill you faster. I turned my head toward Jonas. Look at me, I said to him. He stared at the floor, then up. Guilt sat heavy in his eyes. I messed up, he said at last. That's not enough, I told him flat. I took the money, he said slowly. I thought I could pay it back. Whose money? I asked, though I knew. He swallowed and pressed his lips together. Silas, he said, and the name burned. I remembered the letter from last week. It waited on my kitchen table. No name outside, just my name inside. Leave town, it said. Don't trust friends. I had laughed and thrown it away. Now regret hit me like fists. You put us in danger, I said. You put Mara in danger too. Jonas hit the wall with his fist. I know, he shouted. I know that. I wanted escape, not this nightmare. I thought Silas would wait for payment. I thought you would never find out. Mara spoke again, soft and tired. I tried to fix it, she said. I went to Silas with a deal. I asked him to give you time. He said no, she whispered in pain. He said you had to pay fast. Her eyes filled with tears and shame. I chose your life over my soul. How is this my life saved? I asked. You're pointing a gun at me. That looks like death, not safety. She shook her head again and again. You must shoot me, she said slowly. If you kill me, Silas believes you. He thinks you paid in blood for debt. He stops hunting you and your home. He lets Lena live, she added softly. My sister's name cut through my anger. Lena at home with her warm smile. Fear hit me harder than before. You expect me to kill you? I asked. You asked me to live with that? My voice broke on the last word. The warehouse sank back into silence. Jonas stepped closer to Mara's side. Elias, he said, listen to her now. This can end tonight if you do it. I'll tell Silas you pulled the trigger. He won't come near you again. He'll see blood and call it done. My head spun with every heavy word. Why you? I asked Mara. Why not him? Mara gave a short, sad little smile. He's too weak, she said without anger. He'd run and leave you behind. I know him. He knows himself too. Jonas did not deny a single word. He just looked away and bit his lip. Something inside me shut down and cooled. Home, memory, trust, and promise left with it. I loved you, I said to Mara. The words surprised me when they came. She closed her eyes when she heard. I know, she whispered. I loved you. I still do, she added, almost silent. That's why I stand here like this. That's why I hold this gun. I stepped closer till the barrel touched. Cold metal pressed into my shirt. We shared the same dusty warehouse air. Her hand trembled but did not fall. We can run, I said suddenly. We leave this town and this danger. She opened her eyes and looked at me. There's no escape, she said sadly. Silas owns every road out of town. He owns money, police, even hospital staff. He finds us before we reach another home. We can try, I insisted one last time. Please, Mara. Choose hope. Choose life. She smiled, and it hurt to see. I already chose, she said to me. I chose when I came here tonight. I chose when I picked up this gun. I chose when I wrote that letter. I stared at her, shocked and confused. What letter? I asked, my voice rough. The warning on your table, she answered. I wrote it with my own hand. I begged you to leave this place. You stayed, she said with soft regret. You stayed for me and for Jonas. My guilt is too heavy to carry. This is the only payment I see. The only revenge I accept on myself. I can't do this, I said again. I promise to keep you safe always. The truth is I failed long ago. Weakness spread through my shaking legs. All I could hold now was the moment. She raised her free hand to my cheek. Her fingers were warm, soft, and real. I forgive you, she said with ease. You must forgive yourself one day too. Please, Elias, she whispered, set us free. The gun pushed harder into my chest. I heard my blood rush in my ears. Last chance, Jonas said, voice shaking now. We're out of time, Elias. Choose. I opened my eyes and looked at Mara. Her tears shone, but her stare stayed steady. I wrapped my hand around hers on gun. Our fingers locked on the cold hard grip. We breathed once, twice, the same slow breath. I thought of Lena and our small home. I thought of every memory with Mara. I thought of every broken promise and fear. Hope, guilt, love, and pain mixed inside me. I pulled her hand, and the gun moved. There was a flash, bright and white. A sound tore through the warehouse air. The bullet left the gun and flew. The world split open with the shot. Chapter 2, Before the Bullet, the last normal day of my life. I woke up early that day. I opened my eyes and saw soft light on my wall. I felt the day move slow around me. Another day, I said to myself. I did not know it was the last normal one of my life. I did not know fear and truth were already near me. I walked to the kitchen. Lena stood by the stove. She smiled when she saw me. You look tired, she said. I did not sleep well, I said. You need rest, she said. You carry too much. I shook my head. I'm fine. Just work. Money issues. Jonas said we will fix them soon. She frowned. I don't trust him. I tried to laugh. He is my friend. Friends don't hide things, she said. Be careful. Her words stayed in my mind. I tried to push the thought away. I needed peace. I needed hope. But fear sat in my chest like a stone. I sat down with my coffee. Lena moved around the kitchen and hummed a small tune. It felt like home. It felt safe. I watched the warm light on her face. What time will you meet Jonas? She asked. 10, I said. We need to talk about the money. We have to pay some bills soon. She put a plate in front of me. Eat first. You look pale. I will, I said. Thank you. After breakfast, I went to my room to prepare. I checked my phone. No message from Mara. She used to text me every morning. Just small things. Just a quick, good morning. But for 3 days, nothing. No voice. No promise. Only silence. I stared at my screen and felt something cold rise in me. I typed a message. Are you okay? Then I deleted it. I did not know what to say anymore. When I left the house, old man Grayson waved at me from his porch. You look troubled, son, he said. I'm fine, I said. You carry something heavy, he said. Don't let it crush you. I forced a smile. I won't. You will, he said softly, if you keep your truth inside. His words cut deeper than he knew. I walked to meet Jonas. He was already waiting near the cafe. He looked too fresh, too calm. His smile felt wrong. Brother, he said. You look like hell. Long week, I said. Sit, he said. We need to talk. We sat at a small table outside. Cars moved by. People talked. Life felt normal. But not between us. Something was off. Something in his eyes. Did you bring the papers? I asked. Jonas looked away. Later. You said today. I said later, he said, sharper now. What is going on? I asked. He leaned back. Don't worry so much. We will fix the money. How? I asked. He smirked. I have a plan. What plan? You don't need every detail, he said. Trust me. I felt my stomach twist. I do trust you, I said. But I need to know. It's my money too. He sighed. You stress too much. Why don't you let me handle it? You always panic. I don't panic, I said. Then stop acting like you do, he said. His tone hit me like a slap. I looked at him. He looked back with a cold, bored face. That was not my friend. Or maybe it was, and I just never saw him clearly. Where is Mara? I asked. He froze for 1 second. Just one. Then he said, why ask me? She stops talking to me, I said. She pulls away. He shrugged. Maybe she needs space. Did she say something to you? No, he said too fast. I felt something move behind his words. A small lie. A quiet danger. Jonas, I said, please tell me the truth. He looked annoyed. I don't have time for this. You always have time for her, I said. The words slipped out before I could stop them. He leaned forward. What are you trying to say? Nothing, I said quickly. I'm just tired. His eyes stayed hard. Cold. He said nothing for a long moment. You know, he finally said, Mara is not happy with you. My throat tightened. Did she tell you that? She didn't need to, he said. Anyone can see it. I swallowed. Why? You hold her back, he said. You keep her small. That hurt more than I expected. I stared at him. I never did that, I said. He shrugged again. Believe what you want. His phone rang. He stood up. I need to go. Wait, I said. The papers. Later, he said. Stop worrying. He walked away without looking back. I sat there alone. The sound of the street felt far away. I felt like someone took the ground from under my feet. I felt weak. I felt lost. I went to see Mara after that. I needed to hear her voice. I needed to know what was real. She opened the door slowly. Her eyes looked tired. Her hair was messy. She did not smile. Oh, she said. It's you. My chest tightened. Can we talk? Not now, she said. Please, I said. Just a moment. She sighed and stepped aside. I walked in. Her home felt colder than before. No warm light. No soft memory. Just cold walls and silence. What do you need? She asked. I need you to talk to me, I said. You feel far. I don't know why. She crossed her arms. I'm busy. With what? Life, she said. Mara, please, I said. Did I do something wrong? No, she said. Then why do you pull away? I don't know, she said. I just feel tired. Her voice cracked. I stepped closer. Talk to me, I said. I can help. No, she said. You can't. Why? I asked. She shook her head. Because I don't want to hurt you. My heart dropped. Hurt me? Why say that? I don't want to talk about it, she said. Mara. Please leave, she whispered. I wanted to hold her. I wanted to fight for her. But she looked at me like a stranger. Like someone afraid of me. That scared me more than anything. I walked to the door. Before I left, I said, I love you. She closed her eyes. Don't say that today. I stepped outside. The door closed behind me. I felt the cold air hit my face. I felt fear rise in my chest. Fear. Truth. Regret. All of it. Something was wrong. Very wrong. I walked home. Lena saw my face and ran to me. What happened? She asked. I don't know, I said. I feel like something broke. She hugged me. You are not alone, she said. I held her close. I tried to breathe. But my mind kept replaying Mara's voice. Don't say that today. That night, I lay in my bed. The room felt heavy. I stared at the ceiling and listened to the silence. I felt danger near me. I felt the world shift under my feet. I did not know the truth then. I did not know I would face a gun the next night. I did not know the person holding it would beg me to shoot. But I felt the storm coming. I felt it in every breath. Chapter 3, The First Crack in the Promise. Jonas, I need to talk, I said when I entered the small office. My voice shook a little. I tried to hide it, but he still noticed. He always noticed things that made me weak. He leaned back in his chair and smiled. You look tired, man. You should rest. Work is hitting you too hard. I'm fine, I said. This is not about work. This is about the money. His smile froze for a second. Then he kept it on, like a mask. What money? We already paid the bills. You saw the numbers last night. I saw fake numbers, I said. I saw numbers that did not make sense. I saw money leaving our account. I saw money going to some name I don't know. Jonas laughed. You mean the vendor? I told you. He asked for early payment. You agreed last month. I never agreed, I said. He rubbed his forehead. You forget things sometimes. It's okay. I get it. I don't forget money, I said. Not like this. Jonas rolled his chair closer. Look, let's not fight. You know I want what's good for us. You know we made a promise when we built this thing. You said you trust me. I did, I said. But trust needs truth. He gave another smile. Soft. Friendly. Fake. Then trust me again. Everything is fine. Before I could speak, the door opened and Mara stepped inside. She looked pale, almost sick. Her eyes moved from me to Jonas, then back to me. What's going on? She asked. I tried to read her face. I failed. Jonas answered first. He thinks I took money. Isn't that crazy? Mara looked at me. Are you serious? Why would he do that? I saw the account, I said. Something is wrong. She placed her hand on my arm. You work too hard. You worry too much. Please stop making problems. Her touch used to calm me. Today it felt like a warning. I need the truth, I said. You already have it, Jonas said. Let it go. I can't, I said. Not this time. Jonas sighed. Elias, you're making this ugly. We're friends. We're partners. Don't turn this into a fight. Mara whispered, please. Don't ruin everything. Those words hit me like a knife. Don't ruin everything. Why did it sound like she feared something bigger than my anger? Something darker? What are you hiding? I asked. Both of them froze. Mara stepped back. Nothing. You just think too much. That's not an answer, I said. Jonas stood up fast. Okay, enough. I said it already. Everything is fine. You don't need to check every little detail. I do when things vanish, I said. Jonas laughed again. Still with that word? Vanish? Bro, this is a business. Money moves. Sometimes fast. Sometimes slow. It's normal. It's not normal, I said. Not when the money goes to a stranger. Mara crossed her arms. Maybe ask in a nicer way. Jonas is trying to help. I'm trying to help myself, I said. I need answers. She looked away. You're imagining things. Her voice was cold. Or scared. I could not tell. Jonas grabbed his coat. I need coffee. You two can keep fighting if you want. He walked out. Mara and I stood in silence. I said, tell me the truth. She didn't meet my eyes. You're stressed. Please drop this. You're scared, I said. I can hear it. No, she said too fast. You're wrong. Then look at me. She didn't. That was the first crack. Not the missing money. Not the fake smile. Not the strange payment. It was her eyes refusing to meet mine. I went home early. My head hurt. My chest felt tight. My hands shook as I opened my door. Lena, my sister, sat on the couch with her laptop. She looked up. Hey, you're home early. What happened? I sat down slowly. Something feels wrong. With who? She asked. Jonas? Mara? Both, I said. She closed her laptop. Tell me. I told her about the numbers. The lies. The smile Jonas used like a trick. The cold look in Mara's eyes. Lena listened quietly. When I finished, she said, "You know what this sounds like, right?" No. It sounds like they're hiding something. Something big. But why? I asked. Find out, she said. But be careful. I will. That night, my fear grew. Like a shadow in my home. Like a weight on my back. I tried to sleep. I failed. I tried to forget. I failed again. At 11, someone knocked on my door. I opened it and saw nothing. Just a plain white envelope on the ground. No name. No mark. No noise. Just the envelope. I picked it up. My heart beat too fast. My breath came short. Inside was a single piece of paper. The message was written in black ink. Sharp. Clear. Cold. The people you trust will destroy you. Leave. My hands shook. My mind raced. My heart hurt. I whispered, "What is this?" Lena came to my side. What happened? I gave her the paper. She read it and looked at me. Elias, you need to leave this mess. I can't, I said. Not without knowing the truth. She grabbed my hand. Your life is more important than money. Or a promise. I stared at the message again. Someone knows something. Someone watched us. Then listen to them. I can't, I said again. Not yet. I felt something dark move inside me. A thought I didn't want. A fear I didn't need. But it was there. Growing. What if it's Jonas? Lena asked. Or Mara? No, I said. But the word felt weak. That night, I walked to my room. I locked the door. I sat on the floor and stared at the letter again. The people you trust will destroy you. I whispered, who are you? No answer came. I thought of Jonas laughing. Mara looking away. The missing money. The lies. The cold whispers. I felt the knot in my stomach tighten. I knew something was coming. I felt it in my bones. But I still ignored the warning. And that mistake became the first step toward the night she pointed a gun at me. Chapter 4, The Betrayal I Didn't See Coming. I walked into the back room because I needed one small tool. I did not expect trouble. I did not expect fear. I only wanted to finish my work and go home. But the moment I heard my name, I stopped. My hand froze on the old doorframe. My breath went cold. I heard Jonas talk first, and his voice carried this sharp edge that made my chest tighten. He is weak, Jonas said. He always breaks. That is why Silas wants him. That is why the deal will work. I felt my stomach drop. I leaned a little closer, slow and quiet. I needed the truth. I needed to hear what they said about me. I needed the pain, even if it hurt. Mara said nothing at first. Silence came from her side like some cold wind. I knew that silence. It was never good. It never meant safety. Then she finally spoke. I don't want to hurt him, she said. Her voice sounded soft and tired. I don't want this anymore. Jonas laughed. A short, dry laugh. You say that now, he said. But you made a promise. You took the money. You took his trust. So pay the price. Do the job. Or let Silas handle you too. My heart pounded. My fingers shook. I felt the old fear come back into my body. Fear of losing my life. Fear of losing myself. Fear of the truth. Mara whispered, he trusted me. And that is why he is useful, Jonas said. He trusts you. He trusts me. He trusts everyone. And this is perfect. We take him to the warehouse. We hand him over. Silas pays us. Easy. I pressed my hand against the wall. My knees felt weak. I could barely breathe. I thought I knew Jonas. I thought I knew Mara. I thought I had at least one safe place left in this world. But I was wrong. Very wrong. Mara said, I can't do this. You can, Jonas said. You just don't want to. Stop acting like he matters. Stop acting like your heart is in danger. This is business. This is survival. Silas doesn't wait. My chest hurt. My eyes burned. The word survival stayed in my mind. Survival meant danger. Survival meant death. I understood now. The deal they spoke about was not about work. It was not about business. It was about me. I stepped back slowly, careful not to make noise. If they saw me, I did not know what would happen next. I felt like a man walking away from a fire, but the fire lived inside my chest, burning through every memory I had with them. I made it outside. The sun felt too bright. The air felt too thin. I leaned against the wall and tried to breathe. My heart raced like it wanted to escape my body. Lena's face came to my mind. Her smile. Her calm voice. Her warm home. I needed her. I needed her voice to steady me. I called her. The phone rang twice. Hello, she said. Where are you? You sound strange. I'm okay, I lied. I just needed to hear you. What happened? She asked. Tell me the truth. I can't right now, I said. I will tell you later. Come home, she said. Please come home. I will, I said. Soon. I ended the call. My hands shook so much I almost dropped my phone. I wiped sweat from my forehead and walked to my car. Every step felt heavy. Every breath felt sharp. My mind kept replaying Jonas's words. We hand him over. We take him to the warehouse. He will break. I opened my car door and sat inside. I closed my eyes. The fear hit me again. Not fear of death. No. Fear of betrayal. Fear of being nothing. Fear of being a fool. I started the engine and drove away. The sky turned darker as the sun fell behind the buildings. The road looked long and empty. I spoke to myself because I needed a voice, any voice. Why? I said. Why me? Why now? No answer came. Only the sound of the tires on the road. Only the quiet echo of my own fear. Then I saw lights behind me. A car. Too close. Too fast. I checked the mirror. Something felt wrong. The car stayed on me like a shadow I could not shake. I slowed a little. The car sped up. My chest tightened. No, I whispered. Please, no. The car rammed me. Hard. My body jumped forward. The wheels shook in my hands. I pressed the gas. My car picked up speed, but the other driver stayed close. Too close. Too angry. I knew this was no accident. Someone wanted me gone. The car hit me again. Stronger. My teeth hit my tongue. I tasted blood. My hands gripped the wheel tight. Stop. I shouted even though no one could hear me. Stop. The road curved. The wind hit my face. Trees flashed by. I tried to stay steady, but the car behind me came again, pushing, pushing, pushing. I lost control. My car spun. I saw lights, darkness, lights again. My heart slammed into my ribs. I hit something hard. Bushes. Dirt. A sharp drop. The world rolled sideways. Metal screamed like a dying thing. Then everything stopped. Silence. Cold night air. Pain in my chest. Pain in my arms. Pain everywhere. I opened my eyes slowly. My head throbbed, but I was alive. I touched my arm. It hurt. I touched my face. It stung. My breath came fast and sharp, like I was breathing knives. I pushed the door open. It creaked. I stepped out. My legs shook under me. The broken car sat behind me like a dead animal. I looked up at the road. The other car was gone. Of course it was. I stood there in the dark and whispered to myself, they want me scared. They want me weak. The night felt cold. The trees around me stood quiet, like they watched me fall. I wrapped my arms around myself and tried to breathe slow. I thought of Mara's silence. I thought of Jonas's laugh. I thought of the word deal. I thought of all the lies I believed. I will not break, I said softly. Not this time. I climbed back up toward the road, step by step. Each step hurt my body, but something inside me felt harder now. Stronger. Sharper. Not hope. Not trust. Something else. Something like revenge. I reached the road and looked at the empty street. I took one long breath. The night felt heavy, but my heart felt clear. They wanted me gone. But I survived. Barely. And now I knew the truth. Now I knew who I was dealing with. Now I knew what I had to do. I turned toward the lights of the city and started walking. Pain followed me, but so did something new. Something angry. Something alive. I whispered again, I will not break. And this time, I believed it. Chapter 5, The Warehouse Trap. I got Rowan's call late in the gray afternoon. His voice shook as he said my friend was in danger. I asked what he meant, but he only sighed hard. He told me Jonas held secret debts with a criminal ring. I said he was wrong, because Jonas was my brother almost. Rowan said truth never cared about friendship or warm memories. I felt cold fear move under my skin like slow water. He asked me to meet him near the old market road. He wanted to show me proof before the night grew heavy. I drove fast, trying to calm my breath in the tight silence. I kept saying Jonas loved me enough to never betray me. But the fear inside my chest kept growing like dark smoke. Rowan waited beside his car when I reached the market road. He looked tired, like sleep left him weeks ago in some alley. He held a folder tight, as if it might break from truth inside. I asked him again why he said Jonas joined a criminal debt ring. He opened the folder and showed receipts, messages, and money trails. My hands shook while I read Jonas promising payment to dangerous men. I felt the world tilt, like my home shifted under weak ground. Rowan said Mara was caught between Jonas and the men demanding money. He told me she tried to protect me, but danger kept closing in. I asked why Mara never came to me with this heavy truth. Rowan said fear can make strong hearts hide behind silence and lies. He told me she asked to meet tonight near the old warehouse. I drove toward the warehouse with fear beating hard inside me. The night grew colder, and my hands felt weak on the wheel. I kept thinking about Mara and the strange distance in her voice. I thought about Jonas smiling while hiding danger under friendly words. My memory played old moments, trying to protect me from new truths. I said their names again, hoping my voice could calm my fear. But my fear only grew, heavy like stones pressing against my ribs. I told myself love needed courage, even when danger stood close. The road felt longer, and the silence felt sharp like broken glass. I kept hearing Rowan say Mara wanted help before darkness took her. I felt guilt rise inside me, hot and loud like sudden fire. I pressed the gas harder, praying I was not already too late. When I reached the warehouse, the air felt colder than outside. The metal door groaned when I pushed it open with careful hands. My steps echoed, and the silence felt heavy like wet cloth. I whispered Mara's name, but only darkness answered my shaking voice. The smell of dust and oil made my breath feel tight and weak. I heard a soft sound, like someone hiding behind an old crate. I asked who was there, trying to sound brave for her sake. My fear returned strong, hitting my chest with hard, steady force. I walked deeper inside, calling Mara again with a breaking voice. My hope and dread mixed, twisting together like two fighting snakes. I could feel truth waiting in the shadows, close and dangerous. Then I heard Jonas say my name like a warning and a threat. Jonas stepped from the shadows with a smile that felt wrong. His eyes looked tired, but his grin stayed sharp like a blade. I asked why he lied about money and danger and secret deals. He said life needed choices, and he made his because of debt. I told him he could have asked me for help or time. He laughed and said I always had more luck and trust. I felt anger rise inside me, twisting with fear and regret. I asked where Mara was, and why he dragged her into danger. He shrugged and said she played her part better than expected. My heart cracked when he said that, like glass under stress. I called him cruel, and he only smiled deeper into the dark. Then Mara stepped out behind him with tears shining in silence. My breath caught when I saw Mara's face in the dim light. Her eyes held pain, fear, and something I could not name. I said her name softly, hoping she still trusted my voice. She said she never wanted this, but time pushed her forward. I asked what Jonas forced her to do, and why she followed him. She said danger grew fast, and she tried to keep me safe. I felt guilt hit me, heavy like a falling stone on bone. Jonas told her to stay quiet, but she shook her head slowly. She said truth needed to come out before more blood was taken. My pulse raced while Jonas stepped closer with anger in his eyes. He said Mara talked too much, and now choices were limited. Then Mara reached into her coat and pulled out a gun. I froze when I saw the gun resting loose in her hand. She looked at me, not Jonas, like I was the one bleeding. I asked why she had it, and she whispered she needed help. Jonas cursed and reached for her arm, but she stepped away fast. She said the ring wanted proof that she controlled me tonight. I felt my body shake, because her words cut through my fear. She said giving me the gun might break their plan for good. Jonas shouted she was choosing the wrong side and risking everything now. The room seemed smaller, heavy with silence and broken trust. I asked what she wanted from me, and my voice cracked badly. She placed the gun in my hand with slow shaking fingers. She said I needed courage, because truth always demanded a price. My hand shook when the cold metal touched me. I asked if she wanted me to stop Jonas right now. She said no, and her voice broke slowly in the dark. I asked why she brought me here if not for revenge. She said the warehouse was watched, and danger waited outside. Fear pressed on my chest again, making my breath sharp. She said the gun might save us if I stayed calm. Jonas cursed and shouted that she ruined their deal forever. She said she wanted freedom, even if it cost her everything. My heart burned, because her truth felt heavy like falling stone. Then footsteps echoed near the door, ending our last safe moment. Chapter 6, Shoot me, she said. I heard my own breath shake in the dark room. Mara stood in front of me with the gun in her hand. She pointed it at her own chest, not mine. She looked at me with wide eyes. Shoot me, she said. Her voice broke. Please. Do it now. I need this. I felt my legs weaken. I said, why? What are you doing? Talk to me. The smell of dust and old metal pressed into my lungs. My heart hit hard against my ribs. I felt fear grow in my chest like fire. Jonas walked out from behind a stack of boxes. He wiped sweat from his face. Mara, stop this, he said. You're losing it. Put the gun down. His voice shook. He looked at me like I was a problem he needed to fix fast. I said, tell me the truth. Both of you. I need the truth now. My hands stayed open at my sides. I wanted to show them I had no weapon and no plan for violence. Mara held the gun tighter. I hurt you, she said. I broke every promise. I fell into danger. I made the wrong choice again and again. Her voice rose. This is the only way out. If you shoot me, Silas will leave you alone. He will think I paid the debt. She swallowed hard. I want to save you. I shook my head. No. I won't do that. I don't need this. I need you alive. My voice came out thin and weak. My shoulder burned from fear. My throat felt dry like sand. Tell me what he did to you. Tell me everything. Jonas stepped closer. Don't listen to her, he said. She's scared, but she's wrong. Silas won't leave you alone. He won't stop until he gets his money. We need to run. All of us. He looked at Mara. Give me the gun. Mara stepped back. No, she said. You made this mess. You took the money. You lied to him. You lied to me. And now you want to run? She laughed once in a broken way. You sold us both. I said, Jonas, is that true? I felt the slow rise of anger in my stomach. Did you drag us into this? Jonas looked away for 1 second too long. It was enough. I saw the truth in his silence. He said, I had no other choice. I needed the money. I needed a way out. His voice cracked. I thought I could fix it before you found out. Mara pointed the gun at the floor now. She cried and wiped her face with her free hand. He made me call you here, she said. He said Silas would hurt you if I didn't help. I tried to protect you. I swear I did. But I failed. She looked up at me. This is the only thing I can give you now. I walked one slow step toward her. Give me the gun, I said. We can talk. We can go home. We can find help. I don't want blood. My voice felt calm, but inside I shook like glass in a storm. She said, I don't deserve home. I don't deserve hope. She lifted the gun again. Shoot me and end this. Jonas shouted, stop saying that. His voice echoed. Silas is on his way. We don't have time. He grabbed her arm. She fought back. The gun twisted between them. I saw fear spread across her face like a shadow. I moved fast. Let go, I said. Both of you. You'll get someone killed. But they didn't stop. Jonas tried to take the gun. Mara tried to pull away. My mind raced. My heart hammered. My hands shook. I heard a door slam open behind me. Silas walked in. His boots hit the floor hard. He said nothing at first. He watched the fight with cold eyes. I heard his voice like a knife. Give me the gun. Jonas froze. Mara gasped. I felt a cold wave of fear run down my back. Silas stepped forward. You failed me, he said to Jonas. And you, he said to Mara, you thought you could play hero. He pointed his own gun at us. All of you will pay. I said, this is between you and Jonas. Leave her out. My voice shook, but I kept talking. Take your money. Let us go. Please. He smiled. That smile chilled my blood. No, he said. I want more than money now. Jonas whispered, we need to run. I said, there is no escape. I felt the truth in my bones. The room felt too small. The air felt heavy. Silas lifted his gun. Mara screamed my name. Jonas shoved her. The gun in her hand fired by accident. A bright flash lit the room. The sound hit my ears like thunder. I felt heat tear across my shoulder. I dropped to one knee. My hand pressed the burning spot. Warm blood slid down my arm. I looked up. Mara cried, no, no, no. She reached for me. Jonas backed away. Silas fired his gun. The shot hit a metal beam near Jonas. Sparks flew. I tried to stand. My legs shook. My vision swam. Move, I said to Mara. Run. She shook her head. I won't leave you. Jonas said, we have to go. Silas shouted, no one leaves. He fired again. I grabbed a broken crate and pulled myself behind it. The wood cracked under the bullets. I heard Mara call my name. I heard Jonas curse. Silas walked closer. His boots sounded slow and cruel. I felt my strength fade. Mara crawled toward me. Stay awake, she said. Her hand touched my face. Her fingers shook. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I said, it's not your fault. My voice faded. She said, I need you to live. Do you hear me? I need you to stay. I tried to speak, but the pain grew deeper. The room blurred. I heard Silas reload. Jonas ran for the side door. Silas aimed at him. Mara screamed. Another shot fired. I smelled smoke. I tasted blood. My body gave up. I fell onto the floor. My eyes closed. I heard Mara shout my name one last time before the world went dark. Darkness did not come all at once. It came in waves. I heard distant voices. I heard feet running. Someone yelled for help. Someone cried. I tried to open my eyes, but they felt heavy. I felt cold on my skin. I felt the hard floor under my back. I tried to breathe, but each breath hurt. I heard Mara say, don't die. Please don't die. Stay with me. Her voice broke again and again. I wanted to answer. I wanted to tell her I would try. But my mouth would not move. My thoughts spun like loose wheels on a rough road. I felt a hand press against my wound. Warm. Shaking. Mara said, I will fix this. I will pay my promise. I will protect you now. I wanted to believe her. The room sounded far away. The shot stopped. The shouting faded. I heard distant sirens. My vision dimmed. I felt my body grow heavier. I said one word in my mind, home. I wanted home. I wanted light. I wanted peace. But the night took me first. My last breath slipped out. Fell into silence. Somehow. Chapter 7, Waking Up in a Cold Hospital Room. I woke slowly and felt cold air on my skin. A sharp smell filled my nose and made me cough. I opened my eyes and saw white walls around me. I knew at once I was in a hospital room. My shoulder burned like fire and pulled me back into fear. I tried to sit up, but pain pushed me down again. I whispered for help because my voice felt weak. A nurse heard me and came close with soft steps. She said I was safe now, but I did not feel safe. I asked where I was and how I came here. She said someone dragged me out of the warehouse after the shooting. I tried to ask who it was, but she said she did not know. I felt a deep fear in my chest because I had no control. My memory was broken and full of noise. I saw the gun again in my mind. I saw Mara's face and heard her voice. She said I had to shoot her, but I refused. I did not know if she lived or died after the chaos. Dr. Halden came in and checked my shoulder. He said the bullet only grazed me. I should feel lucky, but I did not feel lucky. I felt guilty and weak. He asked if I remembered anything important. I said I remembered pain and shouting and the sound of metal. He asked if I remembered who helped me escape. I said I had no idea. He said someone risked a lot to pull me out. That made me feel even more confused. Detective Rowan came in next and closed the door. He said he needed my statement. I told him I was not ready. He said he understood, but time was not on our side. He asked me to tell him what I saw in the warehouse. I said I saw Mara and Jonas and fear in their eyes. I said I heard lies and promises break apart like glass. He asked if I trusted Mara. I said I did once, but now I did not know. He asked if I trusted Jonas. I said I never should have trusted him at all. He asked me why I went to the warehouse. I said Mara asked me to come because she said she needed help. He asked if it was a trap. I said I thought it was, but then I thought maybe it was not. He asked what I meant. I said I saw something strange in Mara's face. It looked like guilt but also love. It made no sense to me. He told me the truth would come soon if I kept calm. I told him calm was impossible for me now. After Rowan left, I stared at the ceiling and tried to breathe. I felt guilt grow inside me like a heavy stone. I thought about home and my sister Lena. She always told me to stay safe. I broke that promise the moment I walked into that warehouse. A few hours later, Lena rushed into the room. She cried when she saw the bandage on my shoulder. She held my hand tight and asked why I did not call her. I said I did not want to worry her. She said she worried every day anyway. She asked who did this to me. I said I did not know the full truth. She asked if I still loved Mara. I said I did not know. She asked if Jonas betrayed me. I said yes, he did, and it broke something inside me. She asked if I would go after him. I said I needed answers, not revenge. She said answers and revenge sometimes looked the same. I told her I was tired. She kissed my forehead and said she would stay a while. When Lena left to bring water, I closed my eyes again. My mind went back to the gun. I felt the pressure of that moment. I heard Mara say, "Shoot me," like it was a prayer. I heard Jonas scream behind her. I saw Silas step out of the dark with cold eyes. I felt the world break open. I wondered why she wanted me to shoot her. I wondered if she wanted to save me or punish herself. A nurse walked in and asked if I wanted more pain medicine. I said no because I needed a clear head. She said rest was important. I said answers were more important. She smiled in a sad way and left again. I looked at the window. Night had come fast. The room felt too quiet. Silence made my fear stronger. Silence made every memory louder. I whispered to myself that I needed courage. I said I needed truth. I said I could not stay weak. I said someone dragged me from that hell for a reason. I said I had to find out who it was. I said I had to know if Mara lived. I said I had to know why she asked me to shoot her. I felt my heart beat hard against my ribs. I sat up even though it hurt. I breathed slow to stop the shaking. I told myself I would not stay the victim anymore. I said it again and again until the fear grew smaller. I felt pain, but I also felt strength. I felt a need to stand and walk and fight. I looked at the door and knew my next steps would not be easy. I knew danger waited outside the hospital. But I also knew something else. I knew the truth was waiting for me too. I pressed my hand on the bandage and whispered one last promise. I said I would learn who saved me. I said I would face Jonas again. I said I would face Mara again. I said I would face Silas if I had to. I said I would not run anymore. I said the night would not control me. I said the fear would not own me. Morning came with pale light across my bed. I opened my eyes slowly because the pain still lived in my shoulder. I tried to stretch, but it hurt too much. A nurse checked my pulse and asked if I slept well. I said I did not. She said fear often stayed after a shock. I said fear stayed even before the shock. She asked if I wanted breakfast. I said maybe later. She said my body needed food to heal. I said my mind needed truth first. She said truth sometimes came slowly, like morning light. I said my truth came with guns and lies. She did not answer that. When she left, I stared at the door again. I felt the need to stand on my feet. I wanted to test my strength. I placed my hand on the bed and pushed up. My legs shook, but they held me. I felt proud for a second. Then pain came back fast. I sat again and breathed slow. I told myself I was getting better. I told myself I would walk soon. I needed courage to move again. Chapter 8, The Web of Secrets. I sat in the cold hospital room when the door opened a little. I heard a soft voice say my name. I turned my head and saw Kira step inside. She closed the door fast. She looked scared. I could see fear in her eyes. She walked to my bed and said she needed to talk. I told her to sit. She sat on the edge of the chair and kept her hands tight. I felt my heart beat hard, but I stayed quiet. I said I needed truth. She nodded slowly and said she came because she saw everything. I asked her what she meant. She said she was there that night. She said she hid in the dark. She said she saw Jonas shout. She saw Mara cry. She saw Silas push them both. I felt my chest shake. I said I did not understand. She said she would explain. She said she owed me this. I asked her why she was even there. She said she tried to help me before. She said she wanted to warn me. She said she left the letter at my home. I stared at her. She said she knew Jonas had big debt. She said money made him blind. She said danger came close. She said Silas told Jonas to bring me to the warehouse. I asked why me. She said Jonas told Silas that I had money. She said Jonas promised to pay all debt if he gave me up. I could not speak. My hands got cold. I felt shame. I felt pain. I felt truth hit me like a heavy blade. I asked about Mara. Kira looked down. She said Mara tried to fight at first. She said Mara said no. She said Mara tried to protect me. I asked what changed then. Kira said Silas found Mara's secret. I asked what secret. She said Mara tried to pay part of Jonas's debt. I asked why she would do that. She said Mara loved me. I felt weak when she said that. I did not want to believe it, yet I knew it hurt because it felt true. Kira said Silas told Mara to bring me or watch Jonas die. She said Mara was trapped between fear and truth. I felt the bed shake under me. I asked if Mara wanted to kill me. Kira said no. She said Mara wanted to save me. She said the gun was part of a plan. She said Mara wanted Silas to think I killed her so he would leave me. I could not breathe. I felt the room close in. I asked why Mara did not tell me. Kira said Mara thought I would not trust her. She said Mara thought I would push her away. She said Mara feared I would walk into danger alone. I said I already did. She did not smile. She said Silas watched Mara all the time. She said Mara had no choice at the end. I felt guilt rise in me. I said I blamed her. I said I hated her. I said I thought she broke her promise. Kira said Mara cried for days. She said Mara said she hurt me but had no way out. I closed my eyes. I saw Mara's face from the night. I heard her voice again. I heard her say, "Shoot me." I shook my head. Kira reached out and touched my arm. She said she was sorry. I said I needed truth. She said this was truth. I asked what happened after I fell. She said someone dragged me out. I asked who. She said she did not know. She said she heard more shots. She said she ran when Silas shouted. I asked if she saw Mara leave. She said no. I felt fear again. I said I needed to find her. Kira said I should rest. I said I could not. She shook her head. She said I would die if I rushed now. I stood anyway. Pain hit my legs. She tried to hold me down. I said I needed to go. I said I needed truth. I said I needed Mara. I said I needed trust again. She saw the fire in my eyes. She stood up and said she would help. She helped me walk to the door. She said the doctor would come soon. I said I did not care. I said I needed to leave. She sighed and said she knew a back exit. She led me down the hall. My steps felt like glass under my feet. I could feel pain rise with each move. But I kept going. I said I had no more time. She kept close behind me. She said Silas might still look for me. I said let him try. I said fear could not stop me now. We reached the small door near the end. She pushed it open. Cold night wind hit my face. I felt alive again. I asked where Mara might go. She said she heard Mara talk about an old place near the river. She said it was quiet. She said Mara liked to go there when she needed peace. I nodded and said we would go. She said I was weak. I said I had courage now. She said courage did not stop blood loss. I smiled a little. I said courage helped my heart. We reached her car. She opened the door for me. I sat slow. Pain hit my shoulder. I took a deep breath. She got in and started the engine. I asked her if she was scared. She said yes. I said I was too. She said fear meant we were still alive. We drove through the dark. Lights passed on the road. I looked at the night sky. I thought about home. I thought about memory. I thought about guilt. I thought about Mara's voice. I asked Kira if she hated Jonas. She said yes and no. She said he was weak. She said he was lost. She said greed killed his soul. I said he tried to kill me. She said he did not think straight. I said that was no excuse. She said truth had sharp edges. I said I wanted him to face them. She nodded. We reached the river road. She slowed down. She said the place was near. I felt fear and hope mix in my chest. I asked her if she thought Mara was alive. She said she hoped so. I said I hoped too. We parked near a broken fence. I stepped out slow. Wind cut through my clothes. My legs shook. She walked next to me. I said I needed to do this alone. She said she would wait in the car. I nodded and walked toward the small cabin by the water. My heart beat fast. My breath was short. I felt truth close now. I felt courage rise. I knocked on the door. I waited for a sound from inside. I heard nothing. Fear moved through me like cold wind. I touched the door again and said her name. My voice shook. I said I came for truth. I said I came for her. I stood there in the dark and hoped she was alive. I said I would not leave. I needed her to open the door. I prayed she could hear me now. Chapter 9, Face to Face with the Devil We Created. I want the truth, Jonas, I said. He sat across from me, eyes low. The small bar felt like a cage. I already told you everything, he said. His voice shook, and his hands moved. You told me lies, I said slowly. I leaned forward and held his gaze. You used my name for your debts. Who told you that? He whispered then. It does not matter, I said back. I thought about Kira and her fear. It matters to me, he said quietly. His smile was small, full of weakness. I trusted you, I said to him. I gave you money and my time. I felt old pain grow inside me. I remembered home, the kitchen, Lena laughing. I remembered his promise to protect us. You were my friend, I said again. I still am, in some way. I shook my head at that lie. If you were my friend, why this? I tapped the table with one finger. Why did Silas know about my life? Jonas froze when he heard that name. You met Silas, he asked me. Yes, I said. I met your devil. He swallowed hard and looked around us. You should not have gone to him. His voice dropped until it was almost silence. Answer me, I said. Start with Mara. He stared at the door, not my eyes. I know you dragged her into this. You think I dragged her? He asked. My hands closed slowly into tight fists. She had a choice. I asked him. We all had choices, he said then. You had choices too, old friend. His words slid under my skin like knives. I felt guilt fight with anger inside me. What did you do to her, Jonas? He looked tired, older than last month. I showed her the numbers, he said. Your business was already dying, you know. You were drowning in debt and regret. You walked toward danger with open eyes. I hated his calm voice saying that. You used my weakness to save yourself. He shrugged, and I saw shame there. I needed money, he said, flat. Silas offered a way out, some escape. So you sold my name, I answered. You put my home and family at risk. He nodded once, like judgment already fell. I thought Silas would never touch you. His voice shook again as he spoke. I thought he only wanted your trust. I laughed, but there was no hope. He wanted my life, my blood, my strength. Did Mara know all of this? I asked. He looked away, and that was answer. Tell me, I said. Use simple words. He sighed and let the story spill. I told her you could not pay. I told her you would lose everything. I told her Silas could help you. But he needed something worth his time. He needed a clean name and a face. He needed someone people already trusted. I felt sick as the truth grew. So she agreed to the plan, I said. She agreed to bring me to him. She agreed to that night at the warehouse. Jonas shook his head, slow and sad. Not at first, he said. She refused. She cried, fought, cursed me, and begged. She said you saved her once already. She said she could not betray you. His voice broke, and I saw tears. Then why did she do it? I asked. Because Silas found her brother, he answered. He said he would spill his blood. He sent her a picture with the letter. He said one word under it, choice. I closed my eyes and saw Mara crying. I heard her voice in the cold night. She tried to run, Jonas said quietly. She tried to escape with her brother. Silas caught them before they left town. He showed her what real danger looked like. He told her your death could save them. My chest hurt worse than my shoulder scar. So she picked me, I said, almost whispering. His answer came like another slow knife. She picked you to live, he said. That night, she never meant to kill. She wanted Silas to see her die. He believed you pulled the trigger, not him. He believed you would drown in guilt. Then he could move on from you. I thought of the gun in my hand. I thought of her words, soft and broken. Shoot me, she had said that night. I felt fear, pain, trust, and regret mixed. You let all this happen, I told him. You stood and watched like a coward. He shook his head with sudden anger. I tried to stop it, he shouted. I went to the warehouse for you. I stood between you and his men. If I had not gone, you were dead. His chair scraped as he leaned forward. I saved you, in my own twisted way. I stared at him and felt no thanks. You saved yourself, I said, voice low. You still blame Mara more than Silas. He bit his lip and looked away again. I blame all of us, he said finally. I blame money and fear and weakness. I watched his fingers tremble on the table. Silas is still free, I said quietly. Jonas gave me a long, tired look. For now, he said. But not long. He is scared of you now, you know. He heard you lived through that bullet. He knows his secret deal is breaking. I stood up and felt my legs shake. Tell me where to find him, I said. Jonas hesitated, then gave a small nod. He wrote an address on a torn napkin. I took it and felt my courage grow. You go there, you may not return. His warning came in a flat, dull voice. I already died once, I said simply. I left the bar and stepped into night. Cold air hit my face like a slap. My mind was full of voices and memory. I walked toward the place on the napkin. The building sat near the old river. It looked empty, but I felt danger. I pushed the door and stepped inside slowly. My feet echoed in the wide, dark room. Silas, I called. We need to talk now. My voice sounded small in the heavy silence. A man stepped from the shadows at last. I knew him from the hospital hallway memory. He had watched me there and never spoke. So you lived, he said with a smile. I told Jonas you were too strong. His calm made my skin crawl with fear. I want the truth, I said again. Did you force Mara to betray me? He laughed, a low, ugly, empty sound. I only showed her the knife, he said. She held it to your back herself. Rage washed over me like hot blood. You sent that picture, I said slowly. You wrote that letter with one word. You made her pick between me and family. He shrugged like it was nothing at all. Everyone pays, he said. Money or flesh. Your girl made her choice with open eyes. You call that revenge or justice, friend? I took one step closer and met him. I call it cowardice, I said to him. You hide behind fear and call it strength. You sell danger and call it business. You break trust and then talk about power. He watched me in the cold, heavy silence. You came alone, he said. Brave choice. Or maybe just another weakness, old friend. I felt my hands shake, but I stayed. I came for truth, not revenge, I said. But I will not run any more tonight. Chapter 10, Mara's Last Confession. I stood at the door and listened. I heard a soft breath inside the small home. The night was cold, and the street felt empty. I touched the handle with my weak hand. My shoulder still hurt from the old wound. I pushed the door open and stepped in. The room smelled like dust, fear, and old memories. I saw her sitting on the floor near the window, her legs pulled close to her chest. Mara, I said. Her head snapped up. Her eyes were wide. Her skin looked pale. She looked like someone who ran from danger for too long. She whispered, You came. I closed the door behind me. I had to. She looked down at her shaking hands. I thought you would hate me. I thought you wanted me gone. I don't know what I want, I said. I only know I need answers. She nodded slowly. You should. I owe you the truth. I moved closer. I kept my steps slow. I didn't want her to break. I didn't want myself to break either. I sat on the old chair near her. My heart felt heavy. My fear sat in my chest like a stone. I looked at her face and saw bruises I had never seen before. Mara, what happened to you? I asked. She laughed, but it was small and painful. Life happened. Jonas happened. Silas happened. And I let it all in. Talk to me, I said. Say everything. Please. She pulled her knees tighter. Do you remember the first night I told you about money problems? Yes, I said. I lied, she whispered. I said it was a small debt. I said I could fix it. But I was drowning even then. Jonas knew. He used it. He promised help. I was stupid. I trusted him. My stomach twisted. He told me nothing. She nodded. I know. Because he wanted you blind. He wanted you weak. He said you had money. He said you had trust. He wanted both. I swallowed hard. Why me? Because you were good, she said. Because you were easy to hurt. Jonas hated that you were kind. He hated how people liked you. He hated your home, your memory, your promise to protect people. He hated that I loved you. I froze. Loved? She looked up. Tears filled her eyes. Yes. Loved. And that made everything worse. I looked away. My chest burned. So Jonas pulled you in. Yes, she said. He said he could help pay my debt. I just needed to do one thing. I needed to bring you into a meeting with Silas. My hands tightened. A trap. She nodded fast. A terrible one. And I saw it too late. Silas wanted you. He wanted your money. He wanted your silence. If you didn't pay, he wanted you gone. I felt cold in my bones. So you led me there. She covered her face. I didn't want to. I cried. I begged Jonas to stop. But Jonas said it was too late. He said Silas would kill us both if I refused. So you tried to save yourself, I said. She lowered her hands. No. I tried to save you. I stared. By pointing a gun at me? She shook her head. That was not the plan. Jonas was supposed to talk. Silas was supposed to scare you. Then you would pay. But you didn't come scared. You came ready to fight. Silas hated that. He told me to shoot you in the leg. He said it would show loyalty. And you aimed at my chest, I said softly. Yes, she said. Because I wanted Silas to think you died. I wanted him to stop hunting you. I felt dizzy. So when you told me to shoot you that night. She looked at me with broken eyes. I wanted Silas to think you killed me. If he thought I died by your hand, he would stop following you. He would not chase you. He would stop watching your home. He would stop hurting your sister. I needed him to stop. My breath shook. You wanted me to run. She nodded. Yes. And I was ready to take the blame. I was ready to die if it kept you safe. I touched my chest. Why didn't you tell me? I tried, she whispered. But Silas watched every move. He heard every call. He checked every message. I had no safe time. And when we were alone, you looked at me with pain in your eyes. I lost my words. I lost my courage. You should have trusted me, I said. She nodded and cried. I know. And I am sorry. I regret everything. I regret the lies, the danger, the blood. I regret letting fear guide me. I regret hurting you. I regret every night we spent in silence. I sat in the silence for a long moment. I heard the night through the small window. I heard cars far away. I heard my own heart, slow and weak. She whispered, say something. I don't know what to say, I said. I feel pain. I feel anger. I feel guilt. I feel lost. I understand, she said. I broke your trust. Yes, I said. You did. She wiped her face. I don't ask for forgiveness. Good, I said. Because I can't give it. Her tears grew again, but she nodded. I just want you to know why I did it. I want you to know the truth. You deserved that. You always deserved the truth. Truth hurts, I said. I know, she whispered. But lies kill. I looked into her eyes. They were tired. They were scared. They carried too many secrets and too much guilt. What happens now? She asked. I don't know, I said. I don't know if I can stay. I don't know if I can leave. I don't know if I can help you. I don't know if I should. She reached out her hand but stopped halfway. Can I say one more thing? I nodded. I never used you, she said. I never wanted your money. I never wanted your fear. I wanted your hope. Your silence. Your peace. Your strength. Being with you felt like home. And I ruined it with every wrong choice. I closed my eyes. My throat felt tight. Mara. She shook her head. Don't say it. Don't give me comfort. I don't deserve comfort. I deserve whatever comes next. I opened my eyes again. What comes next is not mine to decide. She breathed out. Then stay a little longer. Just tonight. Just until the sun comes. I don't want the night. The night feels like danger. The night feels like guilt. I need you here so I can breathe. I looked at her trembling hands. I looked at her bruised face. I saw the fear in her eyes. I saw the girl I once loved, the woman I could not save, the friend who tried too late. I whispered, I can stay. She cried again. Soft tears. Quiet tears. Tears that carried history. Mara, I said, I don't forgive you. I know, she whispered. But I see you, I said. I see your pain. I see your fear. I see your regret. She closed her eyes. Thank you. We sat in silence. The night held us both. The truth sat heavy between us, but it was real. For once, it was real. And sometimes, truth was the first step toward healing. Even if healing hurt. Chapter 11, The Karmic Fall. Detective Rowan stood near the old shop and said, We go now. Stay behind me. Do not run. I nodded. My hands shook, and I felt fear rise in my chest. The street was cold and empty. I heard my own breath. I kept thinking about Mara, and I kept asking myself if this was the price for truth. Rowan looked back and said, You need to stay calm. This will end soon. I whispered, I just want this to stop. He said, It will. But you need to see it. We moved to the back door of the shop. 2 officers forced it open. Light cut through the dust. I stepped inside and smelled old sweat and rot. My stomach turned. I said, Silas is here. Rowan nodded and raised his hand for silence. I heard voices ahead. One man said, We need the money now. I do not care who pays. Another voice said, Jonas will fix it. He said he will bring cash. My heart dropped. I knew that voice. It was Silas. I moved closer. Rowan pulled me back and said, Let us handle this. But I said, I need to hear him. Silas shouted, If Jonas fails again, I will end him. I do not wait for cowards. Then I heard Jonas cry, Please, give me time. I did not plan for this. Mara slowed us down. She did not want to hurt him. His voice cracked. I felt my anger burn. I said, He still blames her. Rowan whispered, He blames anyone but himself. Officers moved into the room. Police. Drop your guns. Rowan shouted. Everything broke open fast. Silas fired first. A loud bang hit the walls. I ducked and felt fear crush my chest. Jonas ran toward the back door. An officer shouted, Stop. Drop your bag. Jonas kept running, crying, begging. I heard him say, I only wanted a chance. I only wanted the deal. Then they caught him. He fell hard, screaming for help. I watched him and felt nothing. Silas kept firing. Rowan pushed me behind a shelf. I heard him shout, Silas, stop. You cannot win this. Silas laughed. I never win. I only survive. Then he tried to run. Officers closed in. He raised his gun at them. Someone yelled, Drop it now. Silas looked around, wild and lost. Then he put the gun under his chin. I heard him say, No one owns me. He pulled the trigger. The sound hit my bones. I shook and said, Why did he do that? Rowan said, He wanted control. He took the last piece he had. I looked at the body. Blood spread on the dirty floor. The silence after the shot felt heavy. I said, It feels wrong. It feels empty. Rowan touched my shoulder. This is karma. It comes quiet. It does not care who falls first. Officers searched the room. They found bags of money, guns, and notes with names. My name was on the top paper. I said, he planned to take me next. Rowan nodded. Yes. Mara tried to stop him. She failed, but she tried. My chest tightened. I whispered, where is she now? Rowan said, we found her hiding near the old train yard. She did not fight. She asked about you. I felt my breath shake. Is she safe? Rowan said, she is. But she needs to answer questions. I walked outside. The cold air hit me like a slap. Jonas sat in the police car, crying and yelling, he made me do it. I had no choice. I did not want to lose everything. I stared at him through the glass. He saw me and said, please, say something. Help me. I said, you broke every promise. You hurt everyone. Why should I help you? He hit the window with his fist and cried harder. Rowan said, he will face court. He cannot run now. I nodded. My hands still shook. The sky looked heavy and gray. I said, it feels done, but I do not feel peace. Rowan said, peace comes later. Tonight, you only breathe. We drove to the station. Mara sat in a small room. When I walked in, she stood. Her eyes were red. I heard what happened, she said. Are you hurt? I shook my head. No. Not now. She said, I am sorry. I never wanted this. I said, Silas is gone. Jonas is caught. But I still feel lost. She wiped her face. I know. I feel the same. I sat down and said, why did you stay with Silas so long? She said, he knew things. He used them. I paid in fear. I had no escape. Her voice broke. I said, you should have told me. She said, I tried. But I had no courage. Rowan entered and said, Mara will stay here tonight. She needs protection too. I said, I understand. Mara looked at me and whispered, do you hate me? I said, no. I only hurt. She nodded and closed her eyes. Rowan walked me out. You did well today, he said. You stayed strong. I said, I did not feel strong. He said, strength is not loud. Sometimes it is only breath. Outside, night covered the city. I felt tired, weak, and strange. So much blood, so much fear, so many lies. But something inside me felt lighter. Not safe, not healed, but lighter. I said, is this justice? Rowan said, justice is messy. You take what comes and move on. I stared at the dark street. It still hurts. Rowan said, it will. But you lived. That is enough for now. I nodded slowly. I walked to the car and felt the cold seat under me. I closed my eyes and thought about the hospital, the home I missed, the promise I made to myself, the letter that warned me, the truth that broke me, and the hope that maybe, someday, I could feel whole again. Tonight, I only breathed. I whispered 5 calm words. Chapter 12, The Bullet That Saved Us Both. I walked back to my old home after months of silence. The air felt cold, but it also felt new. When I opened the door, the smell of dust and memory hit me. I took a slow breath and said, I am back. My voice shook a little. I did not know if I felt fear or hope. The next morning, I went to see Father Calder. He sat near the small church gate. When he saw me, he stood up and said, "You look tired." "I am tired," I said. "I carry too much truth. Too much guilt." He nodded. "Sit with me." I sat beside him. The stone bench felt hard, but his calm voice helped me breathe. "I still hear that night," I said. "I hear the gun. I hear my own voice. I feel the pain in my shoulder. I feel Mara's voice in my head." Father Calder looked at me. "What do you need now?" he asked. "I need courage," I said. "I need to forgive myself. I need to let the old fear go." "You came back," he said. "That is courage." I looked at the church door. "I made many mistakes." "Then speak them," he said. "I did not trust myself," I said. "I let money, danger, and secrets control my mind. I hurt people by staying silent. I hurt myself by running." Father Calder nodded. "And now?" "Now I want peace," I said. He touched my arm. Then walked toward it. I thanked him and left. The sun felt warm on my face. I felt lighter. Later, I went to meet Kira. She waited for me at a small cafe. When she saw me, she smiled. It was the first time I saw her smile without fear. "You look alive," she said. "I am trying," I said. She pushed a cup of tea toward me. "Drink. You need it." I laughed a little. "I missed your voice," I said. "You missed my warnings too," she said. "Yes," I said. "You saved me. I know that now." She looked away. "I only told you the truth. You chose to hear it." "I am grateful," I said. "You should visit her," Kira said. "She waits." "I will," I said. Kira looked at me again. "Are you ready?" "No," I said. "But I will go anyway." She nodded. "Then go." I left the cafe and walked toward the rehabilitation center. My hands shook. My breath felt thin. I kept saying, "It is time. It is time." But my heart still raced. When I reached the center, a nurse led me to Mara's room. She said, "She has good days and bad days." "I understand," I said. When the door opened, Mara sat near the window. Light touched her hair. She looked smaller, softer. When she turned her head and saw me, her eyes widened. "You came," she whispered. "I did," I said. She tried to stand, but her legs shook. I rushed to her and said, "Easy. Sit." She sat back down. Her hands moved in small circles on her lap. "You look better," I said. "I try every day," she said. "Some days I win. Some days I fall." "I know that feeling," I said. She looked at my shoulder. "Does it still hurt?" she asked. "Sometimes," I said. "But I live." She nodded. "Good. You deserve to live." I took a slow breath. "Mara. I need to ask." She closed her eyes. "I know," she said. "Ask." "Why did you stay so long in the dark?" I asked. "Why did you let the fear eat you?" She opened her eyes again. "Because I thought I had no choice. Silas owned my life. Jonas owned my mistakes. I lost myself. I lost my voice. I forgot my own strength. I forgot the promise I made to you." "What promise?" I asked. "That I would never harm you," she said. "But I did. I harmed your trust. I harmed your home. I harmed your heart." I felt my throat tighten. "You tried to save me that night," I said. She looked down. "I tried," she said. I thought if you shot me, Silas would leave you alone. I thought my death would be the price. I never wanted your death, I said. I know, she whispered. But I did not want your blood on the ground. I wanted mine. I sat beside her. The room felt too quiet. We cannot change the past, I said. No, she said. But we can heal from it. If you want to. I looked at her hands. They trembled. Do you want me to stay? I asked. Yes, she whispered. But I do not expect you to. I can visit, I said. I can talk. I can try. Her eyes filled with tears. Trying is enough. I touched her hand. It felt cold, but she held mine with weak strength. I thought the bullet ruined everything, I said. But maybe it did something else. It stopped the lie, she said. It ended the night. It saved us, I said. She nodded. Maybe it did. We sat in silence, but it did not feel heavy. It felt like hope. Not loud hope. Soft hope. Small hope. When I stood to leave, she said, "Will you come again?" "I will," I said. Outside, the wind felt gentle. The sky looked clear. My heart still carried pain, regret, and memory, but it also carried something new. Strength. I walked home slowly. With each step, I spoke to myself. I lived. I survived. I can rebuild. When I reached my door, I looked at the old walls, the old floor, the old light. I smiled for the first time in a long time. I laughed a little after I said it, and the sound felt strange in my own ears. I almost forgot how my laugh sounded. I leaned against the door and closed my eyes for a moment. Then I heard a knock behind me. Old man Grayson stood there with his hands in his coat pockets. "You look different," he said. "How?" I asked. "Like a man who finally put down a heavy box," he said. "I tried," I said. "I'm still trying." He nodded. "Trying is living." I smiled. I visited her. "I knew you would," he said. "Did she speak truth?" "Yes," I said. "Hard truth. Painful truth. That is the only kind that helps," he said. We walked toward the street together. The sky grew darker, but it did not feel heavy. "Do you fear tomorrow?" he asked. "A little," I said. "But I want to meet it." "That is courage," he said. "I hope so," I said. He tapped my shoulder. "You were broken," he said. "Now you are not. You are cracked, maybe. But cracks let light in." I felt warmth in my chest. "Thank you," I said. He laughed. "Do not thank me. Thank the bullet." I shook my head. It hurt. "Pain wakes people," he said. "You were asleep for years." I looked up at the night sky. "I am awake now." "Good," he said. "Stay that way." He walked off, and I stood alone under the streetlight. I breathed.